6.5, basic trigonometric identities. First one, we sort of already know this. If I have sine cubed of theta equals sine of theta cubed. If I have sine of phi squared, that just means sine of phi squared. Notice the difference between the two.
What is the
All phi is, it's a different symbol.
Oh, what?
Just a different symbol.
What is that? Does it mean anything different?
Nope. It means the exact same thing. Just an angle. If you have a sine cubed, or any value, it just goes on the outside. But if you have it on the outside with no parentheses, it just goes to the angle. You just got to be careful not to do one little piece. I see this all the time where someone will have the sine of t squared is the same thing as this. They're not the same. This looks kind of elementary to show you this, but it's something you have to understand. They're two different ideas. All right. All of these identities, half of them we already know. We've already been dealing with this, especially with the unit circle. To find the tangent, you take the sine over the cosine. All of these reciprocals you've already dealt with back in the first section. When we said in order to find the cosecant, you had to take the sine in, take the reciprocal. Go figure, reciprocal. All right. We'll get into a lot more of these in the next chapter. But we already know if we add 2 pi, it goes back to the exact same thing. The negative identities and the ones where we have pi minus t. Going into the Pythagorean identities. If I have the unit circle and I make my right triangle. Now this isn't drawn perfectly to scale and everything. This is my x value, this is my y value, this is my r value. You need to find the r. So how do I find r? Pythagorean theorem. But what's my x value? Cosine, all right. So we know that x squared plus y squared equals 1. If this is a unit circle, this has to be 1. What is my x really up here? Cosine. And what's y? So that's where that identity comes from. Sine squared of t plus cosine squared of t equals 1. What we're going to use those identities for. I have tangent squared cosine squared of t plus cosine squared of t. If we want to simplify this, these two are multiplied, that's adding. What's the first thing you can tell me? Anything that you can tell me.
Okay, the exponents are combined.
Exponents are not combined. We can't subtract anything because it's an expression, not an equation. There you can't multiply. There's nothing you can do. There's no numbers to put in.
All right, so it's basically rearranging. What do we want to get?
What do you notice? They both have a cosine squared. So I'm going to pull out a cosine squared of t. What am I left with here? Tangent squared t plus 1. If I look at 8x plus 2, what do they both have in common? I pull out 2, so I have 4x plus 1. They both have a factor of cosines. Okay? Now I'm going to look on my identities. I have cosine squared of t and I have tangent squared plus 1. If you look right here, you see tangent squared plus 1. What does tangent squared plus 1 mean? It means secant squared. So I have cosine squared of t times secant squared of t.
What are you taking?
What does secant really mean?
That's the opposite of cosine.
Opposite of cosine. Okay, what's going to happen here? These cosines will cancel out. My answer is 1.
Wait. No.
We want to find the values of the 5 remaining trig values when given 1. The only one I know is sine. So I still have to find cosine, tangent, cosecant, secant, and cotangent. What do I need in order to find all of these? What's the one thing I need to be able to put in all of these? How do I put these in the calculator? How can I find the cosine of t? What do I need to know in order to find the cosine of t? I need to know what t is. How can I find out what t is from here? Can't divide sine. Can't. It's sine of t. It's not sine times t. What? Nope. Looking at this. That's the actual ratio. What do I need to find? What do I? Well, you already told me I need to find t, right? T is called a or an angle. How do I find an angle when I'm given this? The inverse sine. So I take sine -1 of 0.788 is going to equal what t is. So in the calculator, sine 0.788. What is t? Well, it doesn't matter what one it's in. You just got to stick with it. Mine's in radians. I'm going to leave it in radians. If yours is in degrees, you get 51. It's going to be work the same. Yours are in degrees, right? I'll just change mine to degrees. So in degrees, it's going to be 51.999. The more you go out, the more accurate it is. If you use 52, it's going to be fine also. So I'm going to find the cosine of, let's just use 52. This is 0.616. Just to show you. See how it's not going to really make a difference here? Yeah, I changed, and since all of yours were in degrees, I changed mine to degrees. Tangent of 52. 1.28. Yeah, 0. How do I find cosecant? What's the fast way to do it? So I'm going to take 1 divided by a sine of 52. And I get 1.269. 1 divided by cosine is what secant is. 1.624. And cotangent's 1 over tangent of 52. I get 0.781. This looks very similar to the first section we did. It's just worded a little bit differently.